as quick as I can, you know what I'm saying, because I had done a video prior to this. It was about an hour long. It was real good, and I got interrupted while I was converting it, and I accidentally converted it into MP3. So now it's only in MP3 mode, so which is still decent, and I could still release that, but at the same time I was showing stuff and things like that. So I just wanted to do it again and at least try to do it quicker. If not, you know, we're just gonna work it out. But you know, everybody is out here doing videos on Get Out the Symbolism. Everybody, you know, Professor Griff, Dick Gregory, brother Panic. Just everybody's doing it. A lot of people came out with the information before anybody. A lot of people were even able to even see the damn movie. And when we dealing with wisdom and consciousness and things like that, a lot of people are interested in what certain people have to say. But you have spoiler alerts. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, it was kind of decent to go ahead and wait another week or so, because on my level of what I want to talk about, it's a whole different thing. It's not it's dealing with what other people are talking about. I have not listened to anybody speak on it other than a little intro of the Professor Griff talk, but other than that, I haven't heard anything. So what you're going to hear out of me is coming out of me, and I haven't heard anybody speak on it other than myself to my family or my friends or anybody else, somebody else. So with that being said, I want to say Ashe, and I want to say Ashe to all the deceased relatives, to ancestors known and unknown, divine forces of the Almighty One, if we can say that, known and unknown, and to all those people who have lost loved ones in mysterious ways. And when you come to find out, you know, their body, about their body, they have organs missing and shit. So, you know, and that's the level that Dick Gregory is on. When we dealing with the movie Get Out, you know what I'm saying? Get Out, amazing movie. If you young and black, you living and you living and everything that was going on in that movie. If you young and black, you experienced it. You know what I'm saying? You experienced it sometime in your life, and so it was very heavy, but the information is extreme. The information in it, the wisdom, the knowledge, the esoteric shit in it is so extreme, you know, it's hard to even understand where I should begin. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just go like this. All right, the song by Childish Gambino, when it comes on, and in the intro, it shows niggas in the hood and shit. This is after you see the Caucasian girlfriend going to get Chris. All right. Must stay woke, or it's called Redbone, and it's like must stay woke, niggas creep. You know, that's the intro. Now, a lot of people might have not thought about this, but Tupac did a song with that. See, that song is sampled from Bootsy Collins' "I'd Rather Be With You." Tupac did a track called "I'd Rather Be Your Nigga," so we can get high and smoke weed all day. Featuring Richie Rich. You know what I mean? And then there was somebody else who did another song. But anyway, here comes Childish Gambino dealing with "I Stay Woke." That song is signifying something dealing with the movie. As you go later on into it, you realize that Chris, who is a photographer, the foundation that does what they do, wants his perception. Now, a lot of people are looking at the movie and saying, okay, organ trafficking and things like that. Yes, that's in the movie. That's symbolic, though. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, no organs other than what is more than likely the pituitary gland, or somewhere around the top of the spine, is what they're talking about, is taken out and placed in the black or melanated body, and then that consciousness or that personality that was once in the Caucasian body is now in the black or melanated body. Okay, now all people are melanated. Okay, it's just that there's different aspects of melanin, EU melanin and pheomelanin. All right, the people who are more melanated, black, India, Mexican, and things like that, melanated. The black, the most melanated. The Caucasians, the least melanated as far as the skin. Everybody has melanin within them as well. on their central organ system, or the central nervous system, throughout their organs, all of their organs, and through all of the and all the brain, throughout the whole brain. One of the biggest parts of the inner brain is called the substantia nigra, which literally means the black substance, which is probably going to be synonymous with whatever they taken out of the crown, okay, of the individual to place in the crown of the melanated individual who is going to be Chris in this movie, right? Chris's girlfriend's name is Rose, all right? Rose and Chris, let me see how much time I got left on this first one. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes. Rose and Chris, okay, is symbolic for those who do not understand what's going on. This is dealing with Gnosticism, with esotericism and things like that, but it's also dealing with elite ritualistic shit that's going on the movie screen. Kabbalah mysticism, utilizing it to take away people's energy and wisdom of the actual shit that's going on the movie screen, which is really going on in the back of your brain, which is where the individual Chris who was hypnotized in the movie ends up being. See, that's very deep, and I understand that you might not understand that, but everything that is outside of your body, that seems to be outside of you, is coming through you from a field. I don't know if they want to call it quantum, unified being, calculated in the eyes, going and being flip-flopped in the back of the brain here, and it's like a television screen that not only you're watching, you are in. It's a 3D virtual reality screen, basically, and basically you end up understanding that you live in a fucking hologram. This is a holographic universe that you live in. You have to really get a true understanding of that, meditation and things like that, and slowing down on eating and consuming and just being a consumer in general, at least a phase of it. Going through that practically and doing it, you'll start to wake up and see things. But I got about 2.5 minutes left in this, so it's very important that the song "Must Stay Woke" or "I Stay Woke" by Childish Gambino be placed into your subconsciousness, because this is dealing with the eyesight of the photographer Chris, but it's really dealing with the pineal gland and the inner eye of Chris, who the blind person who owns his own art gallery, yet he is blind. He has associates that work for him and picked Chris out, all right, as far as his artwork goes, he tells Chris, but we know that he wants to see what Chris sees. That's why before the procedure, and when they have Chris taped to the chair, and he's watching the television of the dude that's going to take his eyes, right? The guy says that he wants his eye. He says, "I want your eye, man." He doesn't even say, "I want your eye, man. I want your eyes, man." He says, "I want your eye, man," or "I want your eye, man." And the movie or whoever makes it real silent when it happens. If they are meaning to say eyes, if the actor means to say eyes, because he's really saying I want your eye, man. And he's really saying I, man. He's not saying "I want your eye, man." You know what I'm saying? Like, "What's up, man?" You see what I'm saying? That's a very, very, very key phrase in the movie, man. Because that's dealing with the inner eye, which represents the beingness of who you are. You see what I'm saying? And when this dude who's going through the procedure, you know what I mean, the reason that the girlfriend has brought Chris to auction him off, you know what I mean, is blind. This is what he wants. But this is what goes on in the movie. People got to pay attention. He takes off the crown of the head, right, which is symbolic in a lot of religious systems. They either bald the top of this area, or they crown it, or it's all very symbolic. You see what I'm saying? The crown, the seventh chakra, right, which resides around this area right here. Sometimes you can feel heat coming off of it. I feel heat coming off of it now, probably because I'm going through what I'm going through right now. This part 1 is about to end. And so this deals with the monad, which is you up here, right, as you can see. All right, the third eye chakra being synonymous with the tunnel that goes right in the back of the to the pineal gland. All right, I'll be back. The tunnel vision. See, that's the thing. See, everybody lives that. Everybody's going through that. Everybody has what is known as tunnel vision. You see what I'm saying? But it's on a whole nother level because we're dealing with the illusion of reality called Maya, in one system of the Indian of the Hindu, and then there's another name for it. Well, in the modern sense, the Matrix in the other end. If nobody knows, the Matrix was created by a black woman by the name of Sophia Stewart, if I'm not mistaken. And behind the closed doors of the fucking Matrix of the Illuminati, she's been through court, she's sued these people and everything, and she's gotten awards from it. You could probably YouTube Sophia Stewart, Terminator, the Matrix, because she's responsible for all that. And all that's dealing with some inner spiritual knowledge and shit like that. And it's a black woman that did all that. You see what I'm saying? And the picture, the thing that you've seen on the screen here is something that I did when I first got my new phone, my LG Stylo. And I did this. This came out of the mind of Rhythm Phoenix, and it has a lot of wisdom behind it. But you know, if you want to just check that out for a minute while I'm talking. But dealing with the movie, back to the movie, right? Think about the movie Lost Skeleton Key, right? Because this is the last time something like this was actually created. And in that movie, the people are taking the black bodies. You see what I'm saying? They're taking the black body. They're utilizing, or we'll say this. I'm sorry. It's reverse. It's reverse. The black people are utilizing the voodoo, and they are taking bodies. I think whether black or white, it didn't matter. They just wanted young bodies. It's all about getting the young bodies again. So that's dealing with what they call transhumanism. But I'm going ahead of myself. So they get pulled over on the way to the house. Why do you need his license? He wasn't driving the car. All right, that's dealing with some black man shit, right? I was in that myself. Me and my wife got pulled over at night. She was driving. They asked for my ID. I got smart with them, and so they call it getting smart with them. And after that, he pulled me out the car and searched me and shit. You know what I'm saying? Long story short. So, the groundskeeper, the grandmother and the grandfather, they are the foundation of the whole movement called the coagula, right? Called the coagula. And one of the symbols of the coagula, which is shown to Chris, is none other than the cocoon and the caterpillar, the cocoon, the butterfly coming out of the cocoon. That's the manifestation of the soul. That's dealing with the soul. That's dealing with the mummification of Osiris, and that's dealing with the resurrection of the soul. Okay? It's a part in the movie where Jeremy is stopping Chris from going out the door, and so, you know, because Jeremy like, let's get it on. So Chris starts to run at him and starts to attack him, right? Chris is the Christ, number one. He's Krishna in the movie. He runs to, and Jeremy is none other than the Seth, or the Set. You know what I'm saying? The redhead freckle faced dude, right? And he's blocking him from being free or getting out the door, which is probably synonymous with the tomb. The whole house is probably synonymous with the tomb for Chris. You know what I mean? So when he stops him with the mop stick, the woman comes in, the hypnotist, the hypnotherapist comes in with the motherfucking teacup, click, 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 hits it 3 times, boom. He goes into the mummy form of none other than Osiris. First of all, it's the Ptah form, creator of the creator of the universe. We'll just say that for right now. Okay, who stands erect on the foundation of the earth, right? And so that's what he really is. He represents the foundation of the earth as beingness itself, which represents the I, or beingness within you and I, which is the eternal self-conscious entity within us, which is who we really are. All right, and the Caucasians are studying this all over the internet. You can find this shit. It's called transcendence. Okay, Google it. It's called transhumanism. It's called hijacking consciousness. Okay, it's called the studies of neuromelanin. Okay, it's also dealing with biotechnology, dealing with the bionic man. All right, nanobots. All right. Creating flavors and foods that taste like shit but taste like chicken because of the nanobots creating the taste within it, or that shit being applied to your tongue. A lot of information going on, but anyway, the groundskeeper, the black man that tends the field, and the black woman that's always in the house. She takes care of the house, he takes care of the land. They are not servants, they're the foundations of the dog-owned coagula movement. Okay. And what do? They do a form of transhumanism. They transfer consciousness, their beingness, their I-ness, all right? They transfer their I-ness from one body to the other. Since Chris is a photographer, okay, the Caucasian who... The first thing that the Caucasian sitting that, you know, because Chris is walking around doing the celebration, which is representing him, okay, and they're looking at him, and he's being interviewed and everything. He has his camera, and he's taking pictures and everything like that. He walks towards the dude who's sitting in the chair. The dude is blind. It's all a setup. First word he says to Chris is ignorance. And we know that this is representative of the word nigger. I think it's in the Webster dictionary. So that goes back to a lot of shit. We ain't gonna get into that. But that's what he talks about. The first word he says is ignorance. Then the last shit that he says to him, or Chris says to the blind man, is that shit ain't fair, man. Shit ain't fair. White Caucasian says, man, you got that right. Shit ain't fair. He says it in a way that is almost a blackish way. You see what I mean? Like he from the hood or something, you know. You got that right, you know what I'm saying? Just like when he first meets the father of Rose. My man, you know what I'm saying? Who Rose points that out afterwards, you know what I'm saying? And then he says, the dad says, instead of shaking my hand, he says to Chris, come on, you gotta give me a hug. We're huggers. We're huggers. That's synonymous, it's symbolically with the word nigga. All right? Okay. My man, all right? All right, so he talks about the deer because they hit a deer on the way. That's why, you know, they hit a deer on the way. The deer, okay, everybody knows now, represents Chris's mother, all right? Represents Chris's mother, okay? That's why he gets in the zone. So his mother, who was represented by the deer, who I ain't gonna get into that. Represented by the deer who leaped over the damn street and he gets hit, okay? Represents his mother, goes into the trees, and is there, and, you know, passes away basically in the trees. That's nature, that's Mother Nature, that's the black mother, that's the black earth, that's what it represents. Okay? Getting hit by that car more than likely can represent the technological era or the technological age, which is dealing with transhumanism, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother level of 11/11 thinking, okay? And if you are an 11/11er, I have a gift for you in another video that's going to blow you away. Now, he said, I don't like them deer. One less, the better. There's 100,000 of them. They're taking over. That's all dealing with the concept of nigga. That's why the mother says, I don't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So, Chris begins to get uncomfortable right there. So I got about a minute left in this part. Before I continue on, okay, now, he talks about Jesse Owens. Is it Jesse Owens? That his father almost beat in the finals to get into the Olympics, but he didn't beat him. Jesse Owens beats him, right? So, since Jesse Owens beats him, he says that about his father, he almost got over it. Right? So, that's why his father, who is in the body of the servant who tends the field now, catches Chris running in the nighttime before he sparks that cigarette because they don't want to damage. He don't want to damage the goods no more because he's auction. He's property. He's gonna be property, and so he starts running towards him in the nighttime. And Chris is like, oh shit, And then he turns the other way. And then the next day he says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you during my exercise. That's because he was a runner. He was a runner. You see what I'm saying? And he's pissed that he got beat by the black man, Jesse Owens. All right? I'm coming back with another part. He was talking about the grandmother, the grandfather, and the running and all that shit. All right? And then how Chris thinks that the dude out there is fond of Rose. You know what I'm saying? I think he likes you or whatever. And, you know, at the end of the day, the reason that... the black man out there in you know the grandfather, basically that's why he's talking like that. You know, she's one of a kind, you know what I'm saying? She's a real keeper, because that's her grandma, that's her grandfather, as we know now. So, and of course Georgina, so his name is Walter. Georgina, who was like the maid in the house, which, you know, the father says, yeah, you saying, you know, white house owners and black servants, that's his mother and father. So, or one of their mother and fathers. So, continuing on real quick. So what happened? He said he almost got away. He almost got over it dealing with the Jesse Owens thing. Okay, the tea. The first time the tea thing is used is really outside before before Chris meets Jeremy, the brother of Rose. All right, who I'm gonna tell you about that here in a second. So Jeremy is the damn doorman. So for some reason, he's the damn doorman to the portal out of the motherfucker. I don't know, because he's always dealing with keeping this dude from going out the damn door. You see, or keeping him from going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Or he's always dealing with something dealing with the door. First thing he says in the movie is, "Don't nobody answer the door around here?" As he walks by this fucking bell on the patio bell. You see what I'm saying? So he keeps him from opening the door at least twice. Now the play fighting is to size Chris up. Jeremy also it talks about the MMA fighting at the dinner table, and Chris tries to shut that down, like, you know, I don't play fight, you know, doing, you know, while people are drinking and things like that. So how much time I got left? All right, so continuing on. So let's talk about this real quick. Chris's friend Rod told him, yeah, they got you on display. So when Rose is introducing him to all them people out there, you know, hey, I like Tiger Woods, and let me see your golf swing, and ooh, what a nice grip, and you know, black is in fashion, and you know, these things like that. He's on display. He's literally on display, and the damn girlfriend, who was Rose, is acting stupid. All right, so then he meets the one who wants his eyes. They relate. You know, shit ain't fair, man. And the blonde man says, you got that right. Shit ain't fair. It's crazy. So remember the television. The television, you know, as we go on into the hypnotism and things like that, it becomes the focal point for I call her the witch. You know what I'm saying? The hypnotherapist, to put the spell on him. As you listen to the first time that she said, you know, you want to know how it works, right? You see what I'm saying? And he talks about, you know, you wave the watch in somebody's face, and then she says, you watch a lot of television. And then she jokes around, you're getting very sleepy. It's going on right then and there. It's going on. She's setting them up for the beginning process of shutting down the cigarette smoking, all right? And beginning the process of casting the hypnotic spell on him to keep him under, so they can proceed with the surgery. All right? When I'm talking about surgery, think about brain surgery. See a documentary called Bionic Transhumanism and the End of Evolution. All right? It's on YouTube. Bionic Transhumanism, transhumanism, and the End of Evolution. All right? And then check out the DNA molecules dealing with the brain and things like that. All right? So they show you in Get Out about the missing blacks by using the black boyfriend, right, in the intro, okay, who is a jazz artist, all right? Think about the jazz and think about the melanin. And he gets kidnapped, right? Every nigga that been through that, you walking through the hood, you feel very, very uncomfortable because you feel suspect, and you say in your mind, well, I need to get the fuck up out of here, man. Cops is rolling down the street all slow and shit. You know what I mean? They're going to question you, you know what I'm saying? So, kidnapping and everything like that is all physical in the movie. But what they're really doing is they're kidnapping your consciousness. They're like kidnapping you mentally, on a mental level. It's called the hijacking of consciousness. So not only are they kidnapping you, as you see in the movie, which ties in with what Dick Gregory and them is talking about with the organ trafficking, right? So I can go many ways with this, dealing with that, but dealing with the organ trafficking, I found a couple videos. Okay, got about 4 minutes in this. Found a couple videos. Here's one dealing with an organ trafficking bust, right? But let me tell you about, let me show you, let me see if I can click on this real quick, if it works. See, it might not work because I got this shit open right now. But as you see the title, it says African American organ donors. African American organ donors. You can YouTube that, all right? And it's got Paul Mooney in there. It's got Phil Valentine in there, and they talking about the human trafficking of the damn the organs, but they're mostly being taken out of black people, right? Here it is. It popped up. Right? How much time left?
Body parts. They've been selling body parts. That's old. That's not new. That's why black people don't like to go to hospitals. They go to get their toes clipped, their fingernails clipped, and they wake up and their foot's gone.
They've been utilizing
Listen to what he
the
said.
organs of black people.
George Washington used to use black people's teeth when his teeth went out.
Body parts and the members of African American people, and that goes back to George Washington. There's a long time myth that George Washington had wooden teeth. We've heard that myth growing up in school. The reality is George Washington did not have wooden teeth because common sense will tell you you can't put wood in your mouth. It gets wet, and wet wood is useless.
There you go.
What George Washington did, he had the teeth of his African slaves yanked out of their mouths, and he made dentures out of these teeth, and they're on display.
Now
His
look at this
dentures are on display at museums right now, and
on
that
display, like he said, they were on display. So that's why when the dude, the Asian guy, was like, "What do you think about the African experience?" Right? And he says, you know, he was like stuck like a deer in headlights. You know what I'm saying? His mother. You know what I'm saying? And he was stuck because when his mother got hit by the car, hit and run, he was stuck. He didn't want to believe it. He was stuck in front of the television, and all he did was cry. Right? And so that's why when he finally escapes during the end of the movie, he hits the grandmother, who was the black female. All right, he hits the grandmother because she and so he thinking about his mother being hit, and so he basically picks her up and puts her in the car. He want to save her. You know what I'm saying? Little do we know he can't save her, as we know in the end. Towards the end, when the dude shoots himself, and he kills himself, but she wakes up and says, you know, you destroyed my house. You know what I'm saying? You destroyed my house. And they basically wrecked. But that represented his mother. You know what I'm saying? That's why he saved her. You feel me? But he was on display like a deer in headlights.
To show the history of African people having our bodies mutilated and our members disfigured and mutilated for the betterment and benefit of the dominant society.
In America,
listen to Umar, Dr. Umar.
At least 2,500 black people go missing every year. At least.
Remember what I said about the missing?
Again. Not killed enough. You
see, you know what I'm saying? They go miss. This is real. This is real too. I done looked this shit up. They literally go missing, man. People going, and this is nowhere. Like you might get one or two. You see what I'm saying? You walk into Walmart, you see, have you seen me and shit? But they go, it's real. They don't, they just go missing, man. And we don't hear nothing about this shit, man.
Why doesn't that number ever go down? How can you constantly have the same amount of people? Are you trying to say the same killers go out and murder the same amount of people every year? No. Somebody is taking black people off the street. There's been stories on this. Kidnapped by the government.
Now, Bobby Hemmings said in one video dealing with, fucking with your melanin, right? He says that it's in this video right here. It's called Bobby Hemmings, Assault on Melanin, the Black Man's DNA, YouTube, right? In reference to what Umar Johnson was saying. Let's see.
Kidnapped by the government.
All right? Kidnapped by the government. He talks about how in Atlanta, how there used to be niggas everywhere in the street, downtown. especially at night. But now you go there, this was early in the 2000s, right? You go and you don't see nobody. He said that's because the government or whoever is kidnapping motherfuckers, you know, and they doing experiments on them. You see what I'm saying? Of darkness that these Caucasians have a hard time dealing with. Why? Because it is the primeval mother, right? And they must face her. And the thing about it is that the primeval mother who protects you from this holographic sun that's trying to burn you, but anyway, it's on you. You are the flesh of it. You are the flesh of it. And that's terrifying because you not getting burned like certain other, what they call human races or species are having a hard time dealing with. Okay? And that pertains to melanin, called by Dr. Richard King the holy black body, or the whole black body system. And the thing is dealing with transhumanism, and the reason why these cats in the movie Get Out wants to be inside of the black body is because that's dealing with the primal matter of chaos, which is known as the carbonaceous inanimate form that is given life, which is the melanin that has this hidden substance of the spark of eternal consciousness within it, if that's what I can say. You see? But let me repeat. So, because we're dealing with, see, this is what we're dealing with, right? I'm trying to get you to understand that this thing with genetics and them telling Chris, who represents you, that you have this genetic, see, they want to tell you you're not superior. I'm not saying that you are. I'm not saying that no man, no human being, no, like the blind man says, telling Chris on the television screen, I don't care what color you are. You know, hell, he don't know why they want, you know, because Chris says, why black people? Why black people, man? You know, he's looking all sad. I mean, I feel for the brother. I put myself in his shoes. As in Murder Chose Me, that new identity or ID channel show. The black man. He's always putting himself in other people's shoes. I like that shit. But that's what we're dealing with. And the black man, as we know, as far as indigenous people of the earth, have connections with their mother, the primordial mother of the universe, let alone the earth, right? And just as the earth is the way it is, and it has an inner core, right? Which seems to be the symbol talking to me right now, because that's representative of what I'm trying to say. That's the melanin, you see? And that inner core represents that divine substance that has become the foundation of creation, which was utilized by some subordinate deity that created this shit out of primordial existence, where we were free, I guess you could say, just mind entities. You see, and that's why we have this shit called the mind, and that's why it's so deep within us, and we express it to the physical body. But you know, like the mind wants to fly and do all kind of shit, walk through the sun and walk through all, but you can't do that. You see, everything has to be through this body. Well, this body is the shell or the vessel that we have to transmutate, right? Which is called dissolution from the coagulation. And this is alchemy, and this is dealing with the mystical Kabbalah shit that this foundation in the movie Get Out is dealing with. And that's going all the way down into the modern times of technology, which they call the technological singularity. Google it. And this and one of them damn technologies is dealing with transhumanism. It's in the movie called Transcendence with Johnny Depp. Okay? It's in a lot of movies. It's in a lot of movies. Strange Days. All right, but it's dealing with the chip of people's memory about what they you know, the shit that they like to do and shit like that. I don't want to get into all that. But so just to repeat real quick on this, man, because you know, we're dealing with people, and we're dealing with the darkness, and we're dealing with blackness, and we're dealing with the it being personified as evil. But they show you in the movie Get Out, right? As in, get out, motherfucker, get out of this motherfucker right now. My man tells him, you got to get out, man. You got to get out before they take you. They're going to take you to the sunken place, man. They're going to take you to the sunken place, man. You ain't going to be able to do nothing. That's why Georgina starts crying with that, you know, that no. Because within, there's a fight going on, you see? Just like there's an inner fight within us all, trying to become the actual real selves that we actually are in this physical flesh, right? And she's fighting. And then I guess the grandmother gets back and gets a hold, you know, you're something else, huh? And she goes on about her business because she's trying to keep his phone discharged so he don't get no help when it's time for them after the auction to begin the surgery. But anyway, and this symbol right here, you see this symbol? This is a Caucasian person in the shroud of darkness, or in the image. It's all ritualistic shit. So this robe with the symbol of the cross on it and the star on top represents the inner Christ of the black man, black woman, and the third eye self-conscious awareness, or the I-ness of that individual, the dark one, right? And it is not the fact that you are yourself, the black body, the flesh, right? Because you're not. But it is that. But the garment is of the divine mother of nature, of mother nature, mut, as in the word mouth, right? The mother, right? The logos. That's why your mouth is synonymous with the word mother, because the real logos is representative of the mother. Why? Because that is what Marduk uses in creation in the Babylonian Genesis, which the Genesis derives they shit from, as well as the ancient Kemetic writings as well. This is all dealing with the carbon and the melanin, you see, and that's dealing with the black. This is the black body. This is the skin. Now, if it's not the skin, it's the inner melanin within the organs and such, and the secretion of the melatonin out of the pineal gland in the pituitary neighborhood. Okay, right? Now, the forehead star equals the pineal gland. All right, the shroud equals the melanin skin. All right, they putting their hands up in the symbol of the ancient Egyptian Kemetic symbol of the Ka. All right. So they take shit, they can do whatever they want to with it, but it's come from your ancient ancestors, right? They calling it the sign of Apophis and Typhon. Typhon is the anyway. So, just to repeat real quick, his voice comes to a whisper. Oh, thou that art master of the 50 gates of understanding, right? Is not my mother a black woman? Oh, thou art our master of the pentagram. Is not the egg of spirit a black egg? Here abideth terror and the blind ache of the soul, which is really synonymous with wisdom, and truth, which you can't handle the truth because you are in the hall of judgment, which is the hall of Ma'ati. And lo, even I, who am the soul light, a spark, shut up, stand in the sign of Apophis and Typhon. I am the snake that devoureth the spirit of man with the lust of light, right? I am the sightless storm in the night that wrappeth the world about with desolation. Chaos is my name in thick darkness. Know thou that the darkness of the earth is ruddy, and the darkness of the air is gray. Now, ruddy, the darkness of the world is ruddy, is synonymous with the Adamite. The darkness of the air is gray, but the darkness of the soul is utter blackness. Think about the book, The Dark Night of the Soul. Think about the book, The Celestial Ship of the North. Think about the black light of ancient Sufism in the book, The Man of Light of the Sufism by Henry Corbin. The black light. Okay, the beast. All right, who is the beast? Listen, I ain't gonna go on, but I do know that they called this, or he calls himself a beast, right? I'm a beast, right? In the movie, Chris, with the rose, as in Rosy Cross, Rosicrucian, right? Let me see here. I don't know if I can find that. It's a lot of shit in this book. Here it is. Right here. Right here. Look at that. Okay? The gold cross and rose of 49 petals.
I'm worth $50 million.
It's Dick Gregory, Umar Johnson.
You know, kidneys are pretty sensitive. You got to find somebody who really got the kidney that matches yours. You think I'm going to wait till somebody die for me to get one? If I don't get one soon, I'm going to die. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay somebody to go research people. Okay, let's go look at all the black organ donors. Let's look at all the black...
Yeah, see, that's another key when we're dealing with some legal shit, right? Because when my late brother passed away, he was 16 years old, and the way he passed away was sudden because it was an accident. The very night they were pressing when we went home. I hardly remember a lot of shit because they were pressuring. I know for sure the next night they were pressuring my mother so much that my mother needed my assistance in giving a response to them about utilizing my brother's eyes, because according to something that he did, he said he was an organ donor. I think that's what it was. According to his IDs or his license or whatever, he was an organ donor. I don't know why the hell he did that. I'm not sure why he did that, if that's actually what was done. You see, I'm lost in the sauce. Because the whole incident that happened. So, but I do know that we were invited. That something that happens every year. I think it's in Detroit or somewhere. I don't want to say Chicago because that's wild. That these people who receive organs from other people, you can meet the people, right? And so we were actually thinking about doing that, going to see that, but I just could not see myself looking at my brother's eyes, knowing that it was in somebody else's body. Especially, I did not know anything about what I knew now, but especially dealing with, melanin and shit like that. So
people who got organ donor on their driver's license, which is why I'm not a friend of that. I said, if you want to donate your organs, put it in your will. Say that if I die, this can go to my family, my relatives, my friends, or whomever. But when you put it on your license, I believe you make yourself a public target. And so what do they find?
That's it.
We got a guy in Los Angeles. He has the same blood type as you, same kidney type as you, like
that's it.
He healthy though. He ain't likely to die no time soon. He don't know you, so he ain't gonna give you no organ for free.
That's it.
So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he was in a car accident. We're gonna arrange a murder that makes it look like he committed suicide. So the next thing you know, you coming out the gas station. Boom.
Thanks for the people who uploaded the video, made the video as well.
You get taken to the funeral home,
as well as the Bobby Hemming video.
To the funeral, they don't know that before your body got laid to rest, a little hole was poked and they poured your kidney out.
A lot of people don't know, when you get arrested or even when you get convicted, a lot of times law enforcement or police will swab your mouth for DNA. And now they have your DNA record on file, they have your genetic information on file. And you have to understand, with law enforcement, a lot of times they'll sell your information to tabloids and, like, especially celebrities, they sell their information to tabloids and magazines and news outlets all the time. So it's not a stretch to believe that they won't use your DNA or your genetic information for nefarious reasons.
You my son. Cops come by and inform me you just been shot dead. You don't have jurisdiction over that body. That's the coroner.
That's the coroner.
You can't get that body until the coroner release you.
Yeah.
So we get released, we went out and pick it up, and I see all these cuts and stitches. I just thought they were doing a routine investigation, following the pattern, took your organs.
See, Dick Gregory pointed out in an interview about a brother named Kendrick Johnson, right? Kendrick Johnson, I think I wrote it down somewhere. He was found, a young brother high school, was found in a gym. Okay, there's a picture on YouTube, on the internet, with him in a basketball uniform. And he was found in a gym wrapped up in, I think, a wrestling mat. And they came to find, because he had all kind of cuts and stuff on him, they came to find out that his organs were missing. At least most of his organs were missing, all right? Let me see if there's anything else in this video.
For example, whenever there's a transplant, okay, especially with governors who have...
Because I was wanting to show you the one about Dr. or Reverend Phil Valentine, what he said. But
in fact, they've set up so many sophisticated places around.
Here it is, man.
In fact, they've set up so many or stand in the water together. We wouldn't send our baby up there. And they never got a bunch of those children back, as we all know.
Organ harvesting in Africa, it's a business. In fact, they've set up so many sophisticated places around the so-called third world where there are nations like France, England, New Zealand, Israel. All these places now are looking in the impoverished areas because mostly in these impoverished areas like Brazil, places in South Africa,
very true.
Right here on this continent, wherever there's poverty, there's crime. And wherever there's crime, you know there's a lot of deaths. And there's a lot of shooting.
Chicago.
They are killing black people for their organs. Think about it. Organs are the only commodity that people must have to live that you cannot buy in a store.
That's it.
So if I am sick and I need a heart, I can't buy that. And we know all the problems with the fake hearts, that they can give a pacemaker to a bad heart. But what about when the heart needs to be replaced?
Yeah.
You gotta find a match, and it ain't no.
Switch over to,
They're gonna get shot in the drive-by.
switch over to Haiti.
Haiti, listen.
Jean Bellerive, at the time, he was the prime minister at the time when Haiti was hit with that earthquake that killed over 130,000 brothers and sisters down there in that island. They had a report on CNN with Jean Bellerive, and he said specifically that there was organ harvesting and child kidnapping going on.
And we have already reports of a lot of trafficking, even of organ trafficking.
Of organ trafficking?
Yeah. Now, already.
Of the victims of the earthquake?
Yeah. So,
do you know that for sure?
Yeah, I know that for sure, and it was discussed in Montreal during the conference.
All right. I just wanted to show you that video real quick, okay? I hope y'all still with me. This is just very powerful shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And I can go on and on for hours about this, like Brother Panic seems to in like a 5-hour video. But I'm trying to give you some good pointers. You see? All right. So I'm sorry, I don't see the thing about the Rosicrucian thing, right? Rosicrucian Kabbalah. Okay. Listen to what I'm saying real quick. Chris's girlfriend, her name was Rose in the movie Get Out. Jordan Peele. All right, Jordan Peele. Peele as in pale skin and shit. Anyway, so when you combined as in alchemy, all right, when you combined as in alchemy, Chris and Rose, you get Rose Chris, or you get Rosy Chris, but Chris is crest or caress, as in the crest of the moon. It is the carest. It is the Osiris mummy. It is the hidden. It is the still-hearted deity known as Osiris, Lord of the perfect black. All right, as we know that Osiris, or I'm sorry, Chris, in the movie, or I'm sorry, the Christ in the movie is in the sunken place, right? But he becomes Lord of the perfect black because he has resurrected from out of that shit, like a tomb, like out of a sepulcher, right? He completed this is one of the reasons why, I don't know, I'm not saying Jordan Peele did this, but listen, the dude is not, he's a great actor. I love, he's, a great brother. I'm not taking nothing from him. But as you listen to the Samuel Jackson interviews, all right, they keep hiring these British actors, Idris Elba, right? You know what I'm saying? And this brother named Daniel Kaluuya, I think his name is, in Get Out. They keep hiring these actors from different countries, and they're playing roles of like what a African American descendant of the diaspora is supposed to represent. You see, not saying that his descendants did not get on them boats and were slaves and things like that. Of course, it's just that he, luckily, not luckily, see, they were slaves over there too. You see what I'm saying? So there's no separation from the brother. You see, as far as I'm concerned, and blase on that. But he was used by the British Empire in some form or fashion in this movie ritual, because they use movies, they use award shows, they use concerts and sporting events, and on, as huge ritual events for force or energetic purposes, man. You know what I'm saying? For whatever purpose they're using it for. All right? I'll be back with another part. I'm going to try to end it out. That the Rosy cross, that's what that is, right? The Rose and Chris is dealing with the alchemical combination of the genetics of the I'm a beast. Ain't that what he said? Because remember, Jeremy, her brother, Rose's brother, talks about how, you know, you're not an MMA fighter? Well, you should be, because with your genetics and your stamina and strength and things like that. I'm like, damn, he sound like he John Henry, you know what I'm saying? Talking about, you know, boom, you could be something, you could be this, you could be that. And then he says, let me show you. So what I believe is that not only did the blind man want him for his perception, his eyes, right? Which is really his eye, man. Jeremy, the young son, right? Who probably came in for that purpose. You see what I mean? Not, you know, but he also is a nurse, apparently was a nurse and was wanting to help them. Wanted the body as well, because he wanted the genetics of the stamina and the strength of quote unquote Chris, who was none other than a black man. But he is one. Not only that, they picked one of the blackest of the blacks. When we're dealing with Sudan, black melanin, or the hidden light. That's what Sudan means, right? And they get the word Satan from the word Sudan. There's a whole section I can give you on Gerald Massey in another part, another video, because at the end of the day, the actor playing the character, Chris, whose girlfriend's name is Rose and she's white, is playing the role of Kabbalah mysticism, dealing with the two pillars and the combination of the likes, severity and mercy and things like that. And we're dealing with DNA and genetics and alchemical processes, man. Right? The Egyptians were, not only were the Egyptians the leaders, the founders and everything else of alchemy, or we'll say the Lemurians, all right, on into Atlantis and then into ancient Kemet, or we'll say, you know, pre-dynastic into Nubia, Ethiopia, ancient Kemet, India's, Indo Kush, that we're dealing with some shit that's way back. Egypt, as Kemet, is the land of alchemy, okay? It is the land of alchemy. Okay. There was an Upper Egypt and a Northern Egypt. Northern Egypt was in the south, Upper in the north. No, Lower Egypt was in the north, Upper Egypt was in the south, towards its ancestral home, Nubia, on down and towards, I think, East Ethiopia and the likes. Egypt was the body. It represented the black body. It represented not only did it represent the temple of man, but in the ancient aspect, it literally was and represented the black mother, the womb of the earth, the black goddess of the earth. That's what it represented. It's even said about that in a couple of books that I have. Shit, it's even said in this book right here that the mother is this holy blackness. You see what I'm saying? Newt, the black mother, page 292. Let's see if I can get anything going on page 292. Right? And still I go on struggling with the blackness. The blackness is this, okay? That's the melanin. All right? I you know, and I go struggling on with the blackness is this. Mystical Kabbalah, okay? Struggling on with the blackness. All right? This is coming out of okay, let me read the how much time we got? Let me read the intro to what I was reading. This is the section, The Shrine of Darkness, page 292 of this book, man. Now, before I go on, there's a section here. This is called the sign. Well, I don't know if I can see. this shit is deep. This shit is deep. I told you. What does he call himself? Due to the fact that Jeremy, her brother, Rose's brother, says, "Are you not into the MMA fighting and things of that nature?" He says, "Man, I only did, a little bit of taekwondo or whatever. In first grade, you should have seen me." You see? So he says, "Man, you know what? Because with your genetics and with your... that shit had me tripping in the movies, man." You understand? Because that's dealing with this. Now, everybody has this, right? I am not... Listen, this ain't got nothing to do with racism. You're black, you're white, whatever. But it does have to do with this. This is the reason you look like what you look like. Whoever you are, black, white, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, I don't give... Whoever you are. The reason you look like and sound like and act like and whatever, dance like, is because of this word right here. Don't believe me, look it up. There's massive amounts of scholarly information on it. And I have a whole section right here in my OneNotes on melanin. Right? Melanin is up here in the Kabbalah shit. This is Dion book, Dion Fortune, the mystical Kabbalah. We're dealing with the cosmic newt, the cosmic mother, right? This book dealing with OTO. J.D. Gunther wrote it. This is the OTO. Y'all heard about OTO with Bobby Hemmett. I paid $40-something. This book, shit, they be charging, but I paid like $40-something on Amazon. Okay, it says in the Shrine of Darkness. See, you are in the Shrine of Darkness. Okay, this world is the underworld. This is a mentor. You are in the Shrine of Darkness. All this shit is illusionary. You see what I'm saying? Everything in front of you is atoms and atoms and atoms with these things called quarks that the damn scientists and whoever can't even get past. Your atom is 99% space. Don't believe me, look it up. But that's only dealing with the fact that the nucleus carries most of the mass. So this nucleus is synonymous with what we call the core of Earth's core, right? Well, that Earth's core is also synonymous with a goddess by the name of Kol, in the Gnostic text, and Kol means all in the Genesis, and God looked at all and seen that all was good. This means that Marduk, after cutting Tiamat into all these pieces and fashioning the stars and the constellations, looked back and said, it's all good. Now I need some deities to work for me down here so I can get this gold, which represents the soul. And that's the shit is just so deep. You see what I'm saying? But the Shrine of Darkness, there is another sign of V that must be given special attention. It is found in the midst of the sign of LVX. The sign of Apophis and Typhon corresponds to the V, and the formula of LVX, the light of the cross. All right, that's the black cross, which is the Christos, which is Christ, which is Chris in the movie, of the Rosicrucian alchemy. In the midst of light lurks the bringer of darkness. As Frater Perdorabu made the terrible passage into his final initiation as master of the temple, as described in the 14th Aether of the Vision and the Voice, he approached the Shrine of Darkness. And still I go on, struggling with the blackness. This is the Caucasian struggling with the blackness. Okay? And that's why they make it synonymous with something that is evil. But it's not that it's evil, it's primeval, EVAL. Now there is an earthquake. Wow, Haiti, Ashe. The veil is torn into thousands of pieces that go flying away in a whirling wind. And that's the number 9. And there is an all-glorious angel before me, standing in the sign of Apophis and Typhon. Now, if y'all know who Bobby Hemmett is and you know who Apophis and Typhon is, do you understand that there was something before Apophis and Typhon were considered demonic entities by Ra? Because it's the same as Marduk and Tiamat. On his forehead is a star, but all about him is darkness, and the crying of beasts, and there are lamps moving in the darkness. And the angel says, depart, for thou must invoke me only in the darkness. The blackness gathers about, so thick, so clinging, so penetrating, so oppressive, that all the other darkness that have ever conceived would be like bright light beside it. His voice comes in a whisper, O thou that art master of the 50 gates of understanding, is not my mother a black woman? Okay? Look, how much time? Shit. Is not my mother a black woman, a black egg? Here abideth terror, and the blind ache of the soul. And lo, even I, who am the soul light, a spark, shut up, stand in the sign of Apophis and Typhon. I am the snake that devoureth the spirit of man with the lust of light. I am the sightless storm in the night that wrappeth the world about with shit, man. It started off slow and then it just slowly shifted in, you know what I'm saying? And we still dealing with the movie Get Out, but on a whole different level, as I believe, than what other people are dealing with. But I know that they're dealing with the melanin and the organ transplants and more than, or trans trafficking, and more than likely they might be dealing with transhumanism, I don't know. But you got to be dealing with it. So, I was on this right here. Okay. That is symbolic. That is called the gold cross in rows of 49 petals. Now, I'll give you just a little, let me see here. In this place at the frontier of the abyss, this is called the 50 Gates of Understanding. Okay, the 50 Gates of Understanding, if nobody knows, is in the mystical Kabbalah known as Bina. All right, it is the conch shell-looking symbol that is shrouded in darkness. All right, symbolized as a womb. All right, the female vagina. That is Bina. The planet that is symbolized in Bina is Saturn. Saturn is in relation to Typhon. All right, Typhon is in relation to Apophis, and this is in relation to Sut. Sut is the most ancient, who was transversed and flip-flopped into the evil shit. Do you understand? That's why in the movie A Vampire in Brooklyn, Eddie Murphy says evil is good, because he was just talking about the word EVAL, as in primeval. As you see, the other one is Chokmah, right? And Chokmah is what looks like a penis. All right. So you have the penis and the vagina, right? Listen, and then you have the monad. Listen. We're dealing with some ancient stuff. That's a whole nother video. All right. But this is who you are, and you see that cross symbol, which is right there, aligned with the heart chakra. Okay, and the Bina and Chokmah of the Kabbalah spheres, which are the first two spheres at the top beside the heads, the head of the microcosm atom Cadman, are the penis and the vagina. This represents the conception of thought, the birth of things. You know what I'm saying? The birth of things. And then you have that Christ down right there. Now, remember I showed you in this book. I think I lost the damn page. I showed you in this book the shroud of darkness, the ritual that they do in the OTO. Okay. There's the cross on the chest, and there's the star on the forehead. All right. The star on the forehead is representative of the conjunction. All right, that cross right there, the conjunction of Chesed and Bina. Chesed and Bina represent the crossway point of anyone who calls themselves Hebrew or Ibru, because what they've done, they've crossed it dot right here, dot, which is the sphere of knowledge. Okay, dot, also the sphere of death, but on a whole nother level. It's the death of the ego. You see, the death of the ego. Okay, now, do I want to use this book anymore? There's a lot of shit, a lot of information in this book, man. The unveiling of love and things like that. This symbol right here dealing with the shadow and the Ka and the melanin, right? This is one of the symbols. Here's Jesus doing it, okay? Clearly, as y'all can see. The halo behind his head represents the hidden central sun. And here's another symbol. You can see this. The tetragrammaton, the as above, so below, the yin and the yang. The shadow, which is none other than the symbolical aspect of the hidden image of Abraxas, right? Abraxas has 7 letters in there. So we have the combination right here of my proof of telling you about the 49 gates of understanding and the secret. 7 and 7 is 49. Multiply, right? We're dealing with Ashe. Multiply 7 and 7, that's 49. That's the 49 gates of understanding. Moses could not get to the 50th gate with the Israelites. You understand what I'm saying? The 50th gate of understanding. You see? 7 and 7 is the combination of male, female, the masculine, feminine, but we're dealing with the subtle nature, because that's what the combination is, the duality. But it's in the duality of oneness. This is the subtle body, the 7 chakras. You understand what I'm saying? The peace sign also is representative of the 2 horns that are grown, that are on top of Moses, represented the rays of higher consciousness in certain paintings. You just gotta Google that shit. You see what I'm saying? Let me see here. This book is filled with hidden esoteric information, right? Here's a symbol right here that you should check out. This man. Shit. That might have been a symbol for me not to show you. It did it again. You see this? He's doing the symbol, right? That symbol that they got that Jesus symbol doing, all right? Let me see. This is the Pope symbol of the cross and keys that you see in the movies of Da Vinci Code, the Da Vinci Code, okay? Very symbolic shit, right? Very symbolic shit. That's known as the sign of benediction, by the way. The sign of benediction, all right? Then he talks about the twofold cross. I mean, this just goes on and on and on with this, man. Yo, I can go on and on, but I just don't want to do that. I just wanted to tell you about the melanin. Here is another symbol of the role of the neophyte. This is melanin, black body, the hidden light, the central sun, the hidden substance, the divine mother as the upside down cross. The upside down triangle. You know what I mean? It goes on and on and on, yo. So, that's to tell you that they know what they're doing, and they have the symbology, right? And they are literally doing this on a literal practical level and studying this on a practical level. And it's all dealing with melanin and Kabbalah and neuroscience and all that shit. You see, I got so much stuff, man, that, you know, I don't want to get into all that. You know what I mean? It's so much information. I got about 3 minutes left. We're dealing with transhumanism, okay? We're dealing with transhumanism. All right? That's what we're dealing with. Transhumanism. Simple as that. Rosicrucianism is the Rosy Cross, and that's dealing with the Christos, right? This book, I put this up because I was looking for books on dealing with Rosicrucianism. Here's the Fraternity of the Rosy Cross, Gene of Isis, Manly P. Hall, the Fraternity of the Rose. Let me see, what is this? The Rose Cross. Okay, it just goes on and on and on. All right. The Hidden Church of the Holy Grail. Yo, we got massive amounts of information. So the movie Get Out basically deals with organ transplantation, melanin, transhumanism, and surrogation. You see, I'm going to wrap it up. A lot of information I've laid down. I got mad shit to do. I want to say Ashe. I'm glad that you enjoyed. I'm glad that you've been with me. And I want to say to all my 1111ers, I'm going to put this in another video, but real quick, 1111ers, check this out. First of all, the planet of the crossing, which is known as Nibiru, is not no planet that comes in the sky every 3,600 years. That is none other than the representation of enlightenment and higher consciousness, representative of the God or cosmic principle known as Thoth or Djehuti. Okay, this is also a representation of the inner ascension process of what everybody's going through. All right, so. Planet X and Nibiru represents the planet of the crossing. The planet of the crossing is in reference to the pineal gland, which is going to deal with, more than likely, one of our solar bodies transversing into a Uranus-Neptune aspect on an energetic, psychological level, dealing with our psyche and our soul. Okay, so if any of you like X-Files. If you didn't know, I just found this out the other night. The last 4 numbers of Ancient Mulder's badge number is 1, 1, 1, 1. And as a matter of fact, those numbers begin with, I think, the number 0 and the number 4, but I won't say that's actual, but I will say it's actual that 1111, y'all. Fox Mulder. And we know that Fox is synonymous with Sirius, Sothis, and Isis. Ashe.